This GT has the highest bottom bracket of any bike I've ever ridden, and I don't like high bottom brackets, but perhaps this is the bike that's going to persuade me that they're actually pretty decent. And if you haven't noticed, I've put a smaller, shorter stem on it because the last one was a bit ridiculous and people said that stem was dangerous anyway, so hopefully this will appease you. So I was a little bit scared of that gap because it's kind of slippy on top, but it is drying up a bit now. I kind of feel I could send that to back wheel. Now I'm a little bit scared of sending stuff to back wheel on high bottom bracket bikes and long bikes at that, just because whenever I land, I tend to have my weight too far back, I fall off the back of the bike, and with this being so long, it actually can be really hard to reach the floor sometimes. So I'm a little bit nervous about basically falling off the back of the bike, but if I can tame it, it'd definitely be better than going to both wheels. So let's see if I can do it. Oh, jeez. I almost lost my knuckle on the edge of that then. Oh. Well, I got it. I am so nervous riding this bike, I'm sure you can tell. One thing I forgot with such extreme kind of stem and bar angles is that the bikes kind of feel like they want to fold in the middle. So when I'm on the back wheel, when I do almost like my preload to do gaps and stuff, which is what happened when I had that failed second go, I go to preload and I think I just twist my body slightly because I like to go slightly diagonal and my bike just wants to fold in half. The long stems, extreme bar angles, honestly, it feels like the bike has a pivot in the middle, and it's really, really hard to control if you're not used to it. All right, first impressions after just a couple of lines. I don't hate the high bottom bracket. It's not as bad as I feared it was going to be. Still way more testing to do. I haven't really done much side hop stuff, which is where I normally struggle with high bottom brackets, but so far, pretty decent. Also, my homemade pads are just getting better and better. This back brake has so much bite, it's insane. But yeah, plenty more testing to do. There's still time for me to hate this bike, but so far, I'm quite enjoying it. If you've been following this channel, I came to this rock when I had that weird prototype Onza T-Rex, and I was trying to do static hooks on this. And if you don't know, a static hook is where you just go and hook your front wheel over the top and hang there and then get up it. And I found, well, firstly, I'm not very good at those anyway, but the low bottom bracket on that bike definitely made clearance over this edge really quite hard. This bike with its high bottom bracket should make clearance a lot easier. Your pedals are way further away from the rock and you could almost just roll up it. Also, this has a front rim brake, which means it's a lot stiffer when you hang on that front wheel. So if I'm gonna do it on any bike, it's gonna be this one. So let's see if I can do a static hook. Oh, jeez. All right, well, my stem was not tight enough. Man, you have to pull that front brake so hard. Oh, it's impossible. How do people do these? That is so hard. Right, let go of the back brake, front brake only, get more grip on that tyre. Oh man, I just, that is so hard. Gonna try it on this bit. It feels like it should be harder because I'm literally gonna have to jump the bike straight up the back wheel. I can't roll it over because there just is a drop on that side. But because it is a drop, I can actually hook the front wheel further over the other side, which will mellow out the angle of the bike, but who knows. I still have a long way to jump to get this rear axle where the front wheel is. So that's the thing I'm worried about. Okay, so that angle straight away is a lot mellower, but that back wheel has to go a long, long way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try this from the other side because it's mellower and it'll be easier to practice, because that's quite a big step for someone who's never done something like that before on a bike like this. And right, if you're wondering why I'm having such a mental struggle with this, imagine I'm used to a shorter wheelbase bike. So when I'm in a position like this, my back wheel might be even somewhere up like that. So I only have to jump that back wheel like that far. Whereas now, because I've got a long bike, I have to jump like almost half a foot further than I'm used to. And if I don't jump that entire distance, I'm going to go and slide down here, potentially scratch all the underneath of my frame, potentially go over the handlebars. I'm not going to have a fun time. So I need to absolutely make sure I get up, and it's just a big jump combined with a stem that wants to go like that. Yeah, this is actually making me quite nervous. Right, I'm going to build up to it. I'm going to pick the lowest hanging fruit and start with the easiest bit. That honestly feels like I have to jump so far to get that, but I got the easiest bit of it. Even if I didn't land straight to the top, we're gonna inch our way up. So maybe I could try this bit, which might not look much different, but this bit is significantly harder. That's better. Let's see if I can do this side, which is a little bit harder. Oh yeah, this is a lot harder. Oh, right, I'm gonna have to think about this setup. Oh, why is that so much harder? It doesn't seem much difference, but it is so much harder. While I'm putting my gloves on, I should mention that it is insane what the top comp guys in the world can static hook. They literally will do vertical edges or like massive cable reels and stuff. Knife edge stuff, completely vertical, buff, straight up to back wheel, gap, whatever they need to do next. And vertical hooks like this have almost become like the absolute staple move in comps. If you can't do a static hook, you're not going to do very well at high level comps, unfortunately. And there's a bit of a love-hate relationship with them because they have opened up a lot more stuff, but at the same time, it's just repetitive. If you can get up everything with just a static hook, it gets a bit boring. So yeah, it's a really, really cool move, really difficult, really impressive, but I would actually like to see less of them at comps. Hit me a comment if you agree. Oh, that is so far. Oh, that's the down tube. I put protective tape on the down tube and I just missed it. Man, I don't want to scratch this frame, but I guess if I'm going to use it, it's inevitable. Oh. I know maybe this is boring, but there's almost two different techniques to doing these static hooks. One of them is really getting your weight all the way back, so you're practically sitting on this back tire and trying to basically jump your entire body. It's like doing a squat jump or something like that. It is a lot of effort though, having to go down basically to a squat all the way, explode it up to a jump. Really quite hard, and it's not something I'm used to doing. The one I'm used to doing is standing more vertical on the bike and just doing almost like a quick ankle flex type jump, where you just flex the forks and use that spring to get up. You don't have as much power, but it's way less effort. And because you're not moving your body as far, it feels a little bit more controllable for me. But maybe there just isn't quite enough power with that move to get up to massive heights that well, a lot of people can get. So I'm going to stick with my style of move, and maybe one day I'll learn the better technique. Oh, the bike just wants to twist. How do people stop that from doing it? Oh, that's better. Didn't look it, but that was better. Oh, why does the bike want to twist? So annoying. All right, I'm going to chalk that up to a lose. I'm going to walk away from that because I got more stuff to do. I don't want to get a puncture. I don't want to run out of time with the rain. There's other stuff I want to try before I get absolutely exhausted trying this, which probably isn't even worth it. So I want to try a side hop, and I'm going to risk scraping up my chainstays like an absolute madman, but I've got to test this high bottom bracket with my nemesis move, the side hop. So yeah, quite a good rock for a few things, this one. Oh, suddenly looks really quite big. Oh man, right, let's clear a little bit of a nicer takeoff. Cheating. Right, options. Do a try and get my front wheel there, back wheel up here. Do and try and get my back wheel there, front wheel over there. Do a try and go straight to back wheel. Maybe not the back wheel one, but yeah, I haven't really thought this through yet. Oh man, side hops. Why are side hops so disgusting? Yeah, absolutely no chance I'm getting up that. What am I thinking? Right, I can absolutely guarantee you on a low bottom bracket bike, I would give that a go and I'd be disappointed if I didn't get it. On a high bottom bracket bike, I cannot imagine myself getting up that. I honestly, I've said this in so many videos. I don't know how people prefer high bottom bracket bikes for side hopping. It is so much harder. I'll try and explain why. Imagine this bike has a lower bottom bracket, so the rear axle would be about here somewhere. So essentially, I feel like I've got to jump an extra 2 or 3 inches because that's how much lower this rear wheel axle is. Therefore, that's how much lower my back tire is. So I've essentially got to jump this back tire an extra 2 or 3 inches higher than I would with a lower bottom bracket bike. Certainly, that's how it feels to me. I seem to be in a minority. Most people seem to get on a high bottom bracket bike and side up to the moon. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm so disappointed. What else can I do on this rock? I wonder whether I can up to front. I did tap this on the Onza, but tapping a high bottom bracket bike is almost worse than side hopping it. Oh man. Right, that seems doable. Oh, come on, Ali, just do something good. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I am starting to get into the point where I'm disliking this bike. The frustrating thing is, I know I could get up this on, or I have got up this on like a 20-year-old old school trials bike, and I think I could get up this on a mountain bike pretty easy. So to get on like a pretty modern geometry, actual competition style trials bike and not be able to get up stuff I could get up on a mountain bike, it's just, it's so frustrating. That's what it is. Oh, that's a weird move. That is a really weird move. Oh, yeah, I reckon that's on. Oh, so close. Don't think I can physically get my weight any further forward than that. That's definitely this more relaxed bar angle that stopped me then. You see people land literally the front wheel there, the back wheel down there, but because they have their weight forward and the bar's at extreme angle, they can just go, whoop. It's insane. Right, well, I've discovered that if you actually get your weight and timing just right, it flies up. That was actually really nice. Oh, I put my hand in a puddle. So it's definitely me, not the bike, because actually the bike felt really good. When you do get it right, when you can tame it, the bike is capable of so much. Just I'm not. But I'm actually pretty pleased with that. Couldn't have done that on the Onza, absolutely no way. So high bottom bracket, I'm coming around to it again. There's like a flipping roller coaster ride of emotions. So here we have a gap, which I did to hook on the Onza last time I was here. But I've always wanted to know whether I could do this straight up to front wheel and swap to back. Now, Kieran Whitefield, who you may have seen in one of my videos before, he's such a powerful rider. He came and actually did that up to front wheel, and I want to see if I can do it on this bike. I will admit, I'm not holding my breath. It's probably going to end up being another gap to hook, but we'll see. Quite a long way. Oh my word. All right, well, gap to hook done, only just. Oh, come on. Oh, that's some commitment. Right, I'm going to do something I know I'm going to hate, but I'm just curious. Because I've actually got my bars for a comp bike fairly tilted back. I wanted to make the bike more familiar to me. Maybe I'd have a better chance of getting used to it. However, for stuff where you're committing to front wheel, having the bars further forward definitely should help. I'm going to try tilting my bars forward is what I'm saying here. In theory, this should make this a lot easier to commit to front wheel, but will it make the bike just feel really alien and horrible? Soon find out. What did I say about Curiosity and the cat? They had the best time ever. Say when. Right, let's put it in line with the stem, which seems to be quite a common thing. Oh, that's disgusting. So you know that effect I said where the bike hinges in the middle? This is going to amplify that quite a lot. Hopefully I don't snap any of these titanium bolts. Now I need to adjust these levers. About there, about there. Oh my word. I'm gonna hate this so much. Oh man. Even just, I'm off camera, but I'm just track standing this bike and it's disgusting. But that was a crappy half-assed effort, and that was a notable improvement, so at least it felt like it. There is method to the madness, but man, this is getting even far removed from this feeling like a bike. It's just a hopping machine. Right, commitment is definitely an issue. Because my front end, my hands are now so close to the tire and therefore close to the rock, it basically feels like I'm just chucking myself up to face on the rock. The thing with trials is you got to imagine the front wheel is in effect an extension of your hands. So essentially the move up here would be like a parkour guy jumping up to his hands and then swapping to his feet or something like that. So it's just really quite scary imagining that basically you are just jumping to your hands just a few feet off it. It's such a different thing, this modern comp stuff. Right, committed more then. Definitely got my big fat tummy and a little bit of my chest all over that stem then. Oh, that's better. That was better. Why couldn't I get my weight further on? Oh, how was that not up then? Oh, what? How did that go so wrong? Oh, that's the one. Why did I bottle that? Oh, I thought that was the one then. Oh. Oh, that was it. That was absolutely it. Just 1 inch too low from the top edge. I can't believe how close I'm coming to that and not getting it. I'll probably watch this back and be like, oh yeah, it's obvious why I'm not getting it, but it feels like I'm literally half an inch off the top from getting that real nicely. But I'm gonna quit because I'm gonna run out of SD card space for a start. And also there's just more stuff I want to ride. I will come back, I'll do a bit of training rather than no training. Haven't ridden for, oh, you don't need to hear any excuses. I'm just not good enough to do that. Let's try and challenge myself on some other things and I'll come back in the future and I'll nail it. Oh, I'm actually quite stoked to have got that close because I didn't even think I was going to get anywhere near that. So I'm going to strike that up as a little bit of a win, but not an outright success. All right, we have a side up here. I did this on the Onza. You'd like to think I could do this on a modern bike as well, but again, we've got side ups. Still got the crazy bar angle. Come on, this isn't a huge side up. Surely I can do this. Oh, again. Such, in the scheme of things, for what people can do, that is such a small side up. I even did this on a full sus bike with the cheat rock. That is exactly what I'm talking about with me having to jump like an extra couple of inches higher with a high bottom bracket. I was so sure I'd got that. That felt so casual. I kind of stopped trying because I was like, oh yeah, I've got at this. But then my back wheel was like an inch or two lower than I expected. So basically I have to jump higher than I'm used to jumping. There we go. Why is that so hard? Yeah, front up to front, easier with the bars tilted, but it's harder to swap to back wheel. Oh, come on. How a front hop's so much harder. Doing front hops on this style of bike is so hard. It's basically, I think you're in more of a handstand position. You've got so much weight on your hands compared with on a shorter, well, just generally shorter, steeper bike. It's more centered between your arms and legs, whereas this one, it is all in your arms. You're basically doing handstand jumps. That is really hard. What else can I do on this? I'm wondering whether I can hook it or up to back it or side up to rear. Side up to rear, if I can barely side up it, going up to back wheels, kind of a big ask. Oh, I'm quite pleased I got up there, but do you see how my back brake slipped? Once again, telling an old story I've told a lot of times, V-brakes have way more holding power. I reckon I would have got that with a V-brake, maybe. Come on. Okay, maybe I wouldn't have made it even if my brakes hadn't slipped that first time. I'm actually really happy I'm even getting up there, but I need to get this. Well, annoyingly, the DJI did fill up its SD card. I kind of had a feeling it was going to do it. So fortunately, I brought up my backup Insta360 Go 3, and let's continue to try and get this to back wheel. Oh! Remember earlier when I said high bottom bracket bikes, I tend to fall off the back of them? This is kind of what I'm talking about. Come on. Oh. There we go. Oh. I have to preload so much more than I'm used to or think I need to. Only just, but it counts. Windy. Been eyeing up that one for a while. The gap to hook on the other side was way scarier than I thought it was going to be, because if you end up falling back, you're falling into a pit of brambles, and nobody wants that. This is my first time up here on an actual comp bike, and I've wondered whether a comp bike could allow me to get up this rock here. The plan would be to get into this kind of position and then try and spring up to that one and hook over. In my head it's possible, but I haven't even got my bike and got to that point yet. It could be when I get there that that's just way too big, but only one way to find out. Yeah, my fork is a lot closer to that than I thought it was going to be. Okay, maybe I can't do that. Right then, plan B. Try and take off a horrible lump on this rock, which you won't be able to see from there, and just try and jump all the way to hook. I don't imagine this will happen. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Right, plan C, which is the most disgusting. Try and get right in the point here and jump up. I don't know if I even want to try this one. Yeah, I don't even want to try that. Oh, this is all going very well, isn't it? Plan D, I'm going to see if I can actually physically move this rock, which is massive. And I'd say I'm reasonably strong, but that is, this is really heavy. If I could tip this over or something, that'd be quite nice. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a really bad back and could barely walk, wasn't it? I need to be careful. Oh, that's a hefty rock. Still quite a tech setup with the shape of this rock. Still got the wind. Ooh. That is such a horrible shape on the top of that rock, but at least the distance is all right. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, that wind. That caught me and twisted me. That's exactly what I was afraid of. That is terrifying when you don't know what you're going to land on. Oh, come on! Well, that isn't even a hard hook to do. Oh, that is so frustrating. So windy. Oh my God, just give me a break. Oh my God. How am I not making that? Oh my God. This rock has kicked my ass today. I've just had a little rest and now I've cooled down too much to try it again. This wind is just insane. Hopefully the audio's been okay, but I will be back and I will get up there and I will complete it. But what do I think of the bike? This is one of the best bikes I've tried for up to front wheels. I think the high bottom bracket definitely helps for that. But things like side ops, I do find the high bottom bracket is a lot harder. The extreme bar and stem angle as well really helps for those up to fronts and just general hooks and stuff. But at the same time, it feels so weird, so different. It's going to take me a long time to get used to that. But yeah, that's the end of it. Too windy to carry on, so I'm gonna head home, edit this, and then I'll have to come back another day and complete the things I struggled with this time. So yeah, hope you really enjoyed this one. I'll catch you next time, so take care. Bye bye.